Welcome back to a new episode of Brewtifully Made. I am so excited to bring to you our local Canton Symphony Orchestra president and CEO, Rachel Hagemeier. Thank you so much for taking a moment of your busy schedule to be with me today and share everything that our symphony is doing in the community.
Thank you so much for having me. Very excited to be here with you and your wonderful, bright, and amazing personality and space and everything. It's just so lovely.
Oh, you're very kind. Thank you so much. I just love how much that you have evolved the symphony to be partners with so many wonderful organizations in the community and the arts emphasis that you have created. So I would love for you to share a little bit about your journey to the position that you have, because you are just such a wonderful influence in this area, and I want to share that with the world.
Yeah, so I have it's probably a shorter story than other people. But I'm originally from Oklahoma. I was born in Kansas, raised in Oklahoma, but I've been in Ohio now for over 10 years. I went to school at the Baldwin Wallace Conservatory of Music, and I got degrees in bassoon performance and arts administration. And when you put that together, you run a symphony. So I got those degrees and I did that wonderful arts administration program and got a lot of really wonderful experience at a plethora of arts organizations. I worked for the Santa Fe Chamber Music Festival. I did work for BW itself, some local playwrights in the area. And then when I graduated, even before I graduated, my senior year, my professor, Brian Bowser, had us do an assignment where we had to fake apply for a job. And the job I fake applied for was the manager of education and community engagement at the Canton Symphony Orchestra. Um, and the twist here is that all of the jobs we fake applied for were real job postings that existed in the world. And so I did my assignment and I applied for the job. And then Brian said, you should actually apply for the job. And I said, well, it says I need 5 years of experience, of which I do not have.
Good
And
care.
he said, it's a suggestion. You should go for it. And so I applied and I got the jobs and I became the manager of education and community engagement. And that's when I moved to Canton. And so I moved to Canton in 2019. Got a little condo in Jackson Township, and I've lived here ever since. I loved getting to know the community. It reminded me a lot of home in Oklahoma. It's a football town, and I grew up in a football state, so there was a lot of similarities there. Um, and then I'd been here through the pandemic. I wasn't even at the symphony about a year when the pandemic hit, and then we flurry of activity to figure out how do we even keep going
Right.
during a pandemic. And then after the pandemic, I was kind of itching for something new. I was really ready to have a new challenge, to try something different. And so I started applying for jobs. I'm not from here. My parents aren't here. I didn't have any family here. And so I was like, well, guess it's time. And I got a job offer at another organization. And the same day I got that job offer, our former CEO announced that she was going to be leaving. And it was a very weird day for me. And I was like, wait a second, let's pause. Because how cool would it be if I got to grow at an organization in a community of which that I've spent a lot of time in already. And so I ended up throwing my hat in the ring to become the next president and CEO. And much to my surprise, I feel like probably a lot of other people's surprise, the board ended up extending me the job offer. And I became president and CEO in 2022. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 2022. What year is it? 2025. So yeah, it's been almost 3 years now. And yeah, it's really exciting to be here with the symphony and to do what I love and to work with amazing people and musicians. And it's crazy how th different things feel from when I started in 2019 to
Oh, yeah.
now. It's a whole new world. And it's a really cool thing to be a part of. I mean, the orchestra is so amazing. For a community our size to have an orchestra this good is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just really blessed to be able to do it. And yeah, it's wonderful. We have a great time over here.
I know you do. And I just love all those destiny points that happen. That is just
A lot.
tremendous. Yes.
Yeah, a
Serendipity.
lot.
So
Yeah.
good. Oh, so I have loved all the different ways that you have combined different organizations, different locations throughout our
Mm,
community, and brought the symphony into mixing, pop music and
mhm.
having it outside of the box thinking and locations. Where did that all come from? Did you get inspiration from other areas that are doing something similar? Like, how did you come up with some of these?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to take credit for everything for sure. There's a lot of really cool things that this orchestra does that's kind of baked into its DNA. And that has been a part of what we've done for quite a while.
Sure.
As manager of education and community engagement, there was a lot of stuff there that I really worked hard on to bring into what we do. As an organization, we average an event every 4 days, which feels insane.
That is. I
Not
did not realize that.
there's a lot. I don't think people realize just how much programming we're doing at any given time.
That is.
I mean, our Listen at the Library series happens 10 times a year. At 10 library locations, we have a youth symphony that performs 3 times a year, and there's 3 ensembles. So there's, how does that math work? 9 other perform, it adds up really fast with the number of things that we do. And a lot of the reason we can get away with doing this much stuff, one is that we're, like you said, going to different places and being in different locations, and doing things really intentionally. Because we realize sometimes symphony can feel like a weird sell to people. It doesn't feel modern. It doesn't feel relevant. It very much is modern and relevant, and I'll talk about why. But there are a lot of ways to meet people where they're at, and that can be through the music that we play or the spaces where we are. And so in our like educational community programs, we've moved a lot of things into the library system, and our libraries have been an amazing partner. And please support your local library and get a library card.
Definitely.
And combining early learning with reading, and so there's been a lot of really fun programs that we've done there. We do our summer serenade series in the parks has been happening for a long time. And support your Stark Parks. Support your local park
Exactly. All
system.
those partnerships.
There's a levy coming up.
Yes,
It's
there
really
is.
important. It's really important that we fund these things in our community, and we get to do awesome music in the parks through the Stark Park series. And they've been such a wonderful partner. And in recent
Yeah.
years, us and Stark Parks have worked with other parks branches as well. Like the Canton Park system, which has
Yeah.
the levy coming up, and so that going to physical different places in Stark County. Another thing that you mentioned was this kind of genre kind of crossing things that we
Yes.
do. We do two kind of main series where that happens. We have our Employers Health Pop series, where it's pops, which is not not a new thing. A lot of orchestras do what we call pops programming, and pops just is slang for popular, meaning it has a much wider spread of popularity than maybe our traditional orchestral canon does. And this is where we get to do fun things like the music of Queen, and the
Yeah.
music this year we're doing the music of Pink Floyd.
Aw.
And we do our holiday pops show where people get to enjoy the holidays with sing-alongs and holiday music that is just kind of fun for the whole family. And something in this series that I think we do that is very unique is we've, in the past few recent years, worked with local bands or
Yes.
bands of a different genre and arranged their music for the full orchestra. So we have two amazing arrangers, Steve and Kevin, who take the music of these bands and arrange them to include the whole entire symphony. And it's super duper fun. We've gotten to work with the Labra Brothers and the Vendys and the Steel Wheels in this capacity. And this coming season, we're going to be working with Macy Gray. I was just actually just looking at her set list before this. I'm not going to say what it is, but figuring out those details with her and her team and with the
Ah,
arrangers, and it's really fun. That's a fun niche that not a lot of orchestras do.
right.
And as an organization, we take that a step further, and actually predating the pop series, I think. I forget the exact timeline on this. Um, uh, Before I joined the symphony, we started a series called Divergent Sounds. And the
Mhm.
Divergent Sound series, which on the day we're recording, our first Divergent Sound series is tonight for this season. Um, and so sorry if you missed it.
Yeah.
We work with local musicians. So musicians who maybe don't have as big of a spread as some of those bands I mentioned before. You know, Macy Gray's pretty big.
Yeah.
But people who are incredibly talented local musicians who have all sorts of genres of music, and we arrange their music. Kevin Martinez does the arrangements for their music, and then four of our symphony musicians.
Oh
So
my gosh.
the bands pick what four instruments they want to have with them, and it's
Oh,
just adding to what they do. And
yeah.
we do that downtown at the Oracle. So Josh Brewer and then Nick, his brother, does sound.
Yep.
And they
No relation to me. We always joke that we're related
I know.
somewhere.
I'm like the Brewers. Everyone's
I
they should
know.
all related. It's so much fun,
Yes,
and
it is.
it's. I think we've started to realize how unique that series is and how
Mhm.
really cool it is that we're able to celebrate and lift up other genres of music and other musicians besides just orchestral musicians. And that's really important to us. And yes, we are an orchestral art form. We are an orchestral organization. But I think even more at the core, what we strive to do is to make music accessible and to make music to lift up musicians, to make live music something that our community values and cares about. And we do that through the medium of orchestra, but we also want to be celebrating our hip hop artists. We want to be celebrating our country singers and our rock and our pop musicians and all of these amazing talented people who just happen to play a different genre of music than us. And it's super duper fun. And I highly encourage you to come to a Divergent concert at some point. After this airs, the next one is October 23rd, I think. That feels right. It's on a Thursday. Whatever the Thursday in the 20s of October is, Gary Sirach's band is going to be playing. And it's going to be super duper fun. So that's, some of the stuff that we do. We work with so many different people though, and it takes a giant village. It takes the whole community to make what we do happen. So
Oh, I love that so much. And I love that if people don't realize Macy Gray is actually from Canton. And
yes,
so
that's why we're working with her.
I
So she's
know, and
from
I
Canton. Yeah,
love
yeah, yeah.
that little connection, but that's going to be phenomenal. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it'll be
So
fun.
cool. So cool. I love that you're sharing just like you said, all of the different genres and
Mhm.
bringing that to other people that may not have realized that you can tie in
Mhm.
orchestral music. And I think that I can't imagine arranging some of that for an orchestra and just
It's
how
a
it
lot of
changed.
work.
Yeah, that
It's
is
a lot of work.
incredible.
That's why we're already planning Macy's set list for a concert that's happening in May now.
You have to,
Like,
I'm sure. Yeah,
yeah.
that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So have you tried to do some things that you're like, oh, this is gonna work out great, and you're like, oh, we're gonna have to pivot. We're gonna have to change. I mean, were there things that were kind of like, oh, I thought that this was gonna go a little bit better, but now we're gonna do something different? And
It
what's been the most successful?
sure. It's interesting. So we have to plan so far out.
Yeah,
As an organization. I don't think people realize I'm thinking about the 26-27 season right now.
right.
Like I'm planning that right now, and haven't even started our 25-26 season. So, because we have to think, I mean, we have to think so far out about, okay, what dates is the hall available? We have
True.
to get guest artists and their schedules fill up. There's so many moving parts and pieces. We're on the Hall of Fame Village campus. I got to coordinate with them for their concerts. The school has football games they got to do. We got to make sure that I don't want to be on the same night as Akron Symphony. So we got to make sure we're on different.
Oh
It's
my
a
gosh.
whole fun puzzle that we do. And so when it comes to pivoting, yes, there are certain things that we can pivot, but when it comes to the content in the concert, we kind of have to whatever we stick with, we really kind of have to do. We get kind of trapped in. Not to say we couldn't change on a dime if we needed to, but
Yeah.
because we plan so far in advance, we have to redefine what we think success is. And as we go into a concert, we do a lot of pivoting with other things that we can control. So sometimes a success for us is not necessarily a sold out crowd. This was artistically really fulfilling for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
And we're not going to make money on this concert. We just to spoiler alert, we don't usually make money on concerts. We usually lose quite a bit of money on concerts. They are very expensive. And in
Yeah.
order for us to make money on a concert, we would have to charge about $400 a ticket, which
Wow.
no one's going to pay for when we're
Right.
not going to do that. An orchestra is not cheap. We usually spend between 35 and $75,000 just on musicians for each concert, plus the
Yeah.
marketing, plus the guest artist, plus
Yeah.
plus, so they're very expensive concerts. And so it's not how much money did we make. For example, we just did a collaboration with the Players Guild and we did Hunchback of Notre Dame in concert. And
Mhm.
so big musical, full chorus, full orchestra, full cast, very expensive. Um,
Right.
and ticket sales were pretty good. There were almost 800 people there, which is great. It's amazing. I budgeted to have more people come, but it happened to be on the same weekend as Porch Rocker in Akron, and I know that took a lot of attention.
Wow.
Things happen,
Yep.
but artistically, it was maybe one of the best things we've ever done, right?
Oh,
And
love
so,
that.
how exciting is that? And so, what success looks like for us has to change and be a little bit different. And there's so much stuff behind the scenes that sometimes the crowd is, oh my gosh, amazing. So many people are there. Everyone loves it. And behind the scenes, we're like, this was rough. This was a rough one because there's just so many
Yeah.
moving parts backstage. Our marketing team shifts a lot
I
leading
can
up to a
imagine.
concert. If things are going really, really well, we'll pull marketing. They're like, we don't need a market. Like, we've got the
Yeah.
people we need. Let's save some money here. We'll put it on
Right.
something else.
Yeah.
Or okay, this video is doing really well. All of this other money, we're pouring it all into this video, right? So it really depends. I think some of the most successful things we've done didn't necessarily have the most people there.
Mm.
Last year our Steel Wheels concert, our musicians said this was their favorite Pops concert they'd ever done. That's a
Wow.
huge success. It
Yes.
wasn't an orchestra concert and they loved it. I'm like, yeah, we did
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
Like that, it had less than 800 people there, right? So it wasn't the most sold thing we'd ever done, but the musicians had such a good time. So that's
Oh,
amazing.
that
And
is.
then sometimes we do stuff and it is sold out and we're like, yes, we've done it. So
Yes.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I fingers crossed, I don't have to do any giant pivots ever.
Right.
But there have been some really challenging things as an organization where we have had to pivot. COVID, everyone knows that. I don't need to explain
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Um, I'm very proud of us as an organization over the past 2 years. In 2023, we unexpectedly lost our music director.
I know.
He passed away really suddenly, and we had to figure out what does that look like for us. And
Yeah.
we're now doing a music director search. And so over the next 2 years, we're going to be working with a million conductors, basically, it feels like, and figuring out
Sure.
who our next artistic leader is going to be. That makes planning a little tricky.
A little.
But it's exciting. It's
Yeah.
super fun, and yeah, it's a really exciting time to be here. So,
Wow. Thank you for all that transparency. I mean, that's
oh, well,
amazing to share that and let people realize the impact that their support has on what you
yeah,
do and how that can shift just by supporting what you do and showing up at
truly,
all the other locations and all the things that you're doing and
yes,
realizing how much work goes into it and
yeah.
how lucky we are that you're here. So
Yeah,
that,
I mean, yeah, ticket sales cover about 1/5 of our operating costs.
wow.
So we have to raise, I mean, we have to raise so much money each year. And
Yeah.
that's through amazing sponsors, that's through grants, that's through just, donors and so support and volunteers, gosh, it takes about 25 volunteers to make a concert happen every single time.
Wow.
So we have an army of volunteers that just like make it happen for us. So it's
I
yeah,
know.
there's so many moving parts and pieces and we really rely on the community not just to show up, but to support us in a lot of other ways so that we can keep
Right.
doing it.
Right. So I know you
Mhm.
have a big event coming up in about a week. Can you share a
Mhm.
little bit about that event?
Yeah, we're kicking off the whole season. So our 25-26 season is called Where Our Stories Meet. And the kind of idea behind this season, every season we're playing music. Woo, we've done it. But this season felt just with the content when talking with our musicians and our board, this season is really about telling a lot of stories, telling the stories of our community, bringing in diverse voices from a lot of different backgrounds to share in this medium of music making. In both of our Masterworks series, which has 7 concerts, and our Pop series, which has 3 concerts, and there's a different conductor every concert. There's all these different amazing guest artists, and we're kicking it off on October 4th with our first Masterworks concert called Six Strings and a Symphony, and it features a guitar concerto. It features a Beethoven symphony, and it's during Hispanic Heritage Month, and we're gonna have a taco truck outside so people can get food beforehand. And the ballet is going to be doing a pre-concert performance at 7 p.m. like before the show. So you can come, you can get a taco, and then you can watch the ballet, and then you can get a drink, and then you can watch the sim. It's going to be a whole night, and we're so excited to kick it off. And we really want the community to feel celebrated, but also really want to invite the community into what we're doing so that they can help us tell the story of who we are throughout this whole season. Because we've got so many amazing concerts this year. I'm usually there's like one concert a year where I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. There's not one of those this year. I'm truly actually excited about like every single concert we're doing. And it's so exciting, the music that's being played and the guest conductors and guest artists that are coming in. And Meng Su's playing the guitar concerto. She's going to be working with Canton City School guitar students at a library event on Thursday, October 2nd. You can register for that. That's a free event with the library system. She's going to be doing a master class with them. So they're going to play for her, and she's going to help them out. And then those students will be in the lobby before the concert. So you can hear, it's going to be fun. So much is going on, and we're very excited. So yeah.
Oh, I love all that layering.
There's a lot.
That's wonderful though. I mean, there's just so many reasons for you to attend and get to experience the different points. And it's just wonderful. I love that. Oh my goodness. So I know you said I know we're going into the 25-26 season, but you're planning 27. Do you have some highlights for next year and what's coming up after the 4th?
Yeah. So I mean, this whole season is like I said, full of amazing stuff. I think probably some of the biggest highlights that how do I even narrow it down? Joanne Falletta is a beloved conductor that we love, and she is just phenomenal, and she's conducted the orchestra before, and she's going to be here on November 1st. We're playing Romeo and Juliet, which is a classic, and it's hard not to love it. And that's in later November before Thanksgiving. We're doing Young Person's Guide to the Orchestra in January as it's still a Masterworks, but it's our family friendly show. So it's at 3 p.m. instead of 7:30. And so it's a little easier on the bedtime. And
Smart.
we're doing Young Person's Guide to the Orchestra, and we're having a young person be our guide. So Avery Ellis, she's 16. She's going to narrate it for you and kind of take you through the orchestra, and that'll be super duper fun. Her mom, Joy, directed our 2 collaborations with the Players Guild. She directed Hunchback and Ragtime. And she's phenomenal. And so we're really excited that Avery's going to be with us. We're doing a really cool photo choreography project for our Masterworks 5, which is an Alpine Symphony in February. So photo choreography, we're asking the community. So if you're a community person who likes to take photos or just has photos that you want to submit, please, you can go to our website. You'll find where to submit. We're asking people to submit photos of their experiences in nature. And then some Canton City school students and Ben Myers are going to put that together and time it to the music that will be played. And so people can come and see their photos timed to the music. And that's going to be in February.
I love that.
I know it'll be super duper fun. And it's a long piece. It's like 50 something minutes long. So we need a lot of photos. So submit your photos. We're really excited about that. We're doing Brahms Requiem, full orchestra chorus. That'll be lovely. It's a very classic, lovely Requiem. And then our last Masterworks concert is 250th anniversary of America. There's a lot of America 250 stuff happening. And this concert, Francesco Lecce Chong, who's the guest conductor, Francesco put together just such a cool program that I will say, if you're not super musically savvy with orchestral music, it's hard to know why it's so cool. But I'll try to be brief with it. There's four amazing pieces. All of them tell a really unique version of an American story. We've got Amy Beach's Bal Masque. Amy Beach was the first female American composer that we really know. And her story was like amazing composer. Husband didn't allow her to compose while he was alive. So the only orchestral pieces we have by her are really before she got married and then after her husband died. And
Wow.
so it was hard for her to share her voice, and we do get to hear it a little bit here. And then we've got Samuel Barber's Violin Concerto, which is such a beautifully somber, it's a little somber, very serious violin concerto, which you don't really get with violin concertos very often. Then we're doing Jesse Montgomery's Hymn for Everyone, which the first four notes are the first four notes of the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. And it's just a really beautiful telling of music being for everyone.
Yeah.
And then the last piece is Aaron Copland, Tenderland Suite, which is not the Aaron Copland that most people know. Most people would like pick Rodeo or something like that.
Okay.
But this suite is it's gorgeous. It's beautiful. And it tells the story of Americans living through the Great Depression
Oh,
and getting through on the other side. And so it's a beautiful concert, just like it's so well programmed, and
ah,
it's just really exciting. And so like that's in the Masterwork season, but then also Macy Gray's coming. That's in
yeah,
May. That's going to be
yeah,
so much fun. We're going to have a
yeah,
great time. We're doing the music of Pink Floyd.
yeah,
Amazing. And then our holiday pop show, we're doing two of them. We haven't done two shows of anything in a while. Usually we have one night only.
yeah.
And we're doing two holiday pop shows because the last 2 years it got sold out. So
Good to know.
so yeah, get your tickets.
Yeah.
So I know that wasn't very short-winded. That was a little long-winded, but
No, I
it's
appreciate
it's
all the
super fun.
information. That your passion is infectious.
Oh,
You
thank you.
can tell how much this means to you, and everything that you explained was just it just gets me excited about learning more and understanding the depth of the
Yeah.
reasons of why those pieces were chosen and how diverse
Yeah.
everything is. And it's just I appreciate that so much. So I think that was wonderful. Don't apologize
Oh,
for
thank
sharing that.
you. Yeah, it's exciting. There's so much cool stuff.
Oh, so how can everyone find, if they're not local, do you record any of these that they can listen to or find outside of our area?
Sure. So if you aren't local, we don't have a ton of stuff available for recording, but we are going to be releasing some stuff.
Oh, nice.
I don't have a timeline on
Oh,
that,
it's okay. That's okay.
but
I just wondered.
we do have a YouTube channel. We have our own podcast where you can listen to our podcast, Orchestrating Change. There's also a lot of educational content that we have available online for people that you can go and be a part of. There also are some videos that we have posted, but we are working on quite a few video projects right now from things we have recorded in the past that we can release.
Yeah.
And just copyright laws are weird,
Yep.
and
I knew
it
there was a
takes a lot of
license thing. I
investigation to figure
understand.
out what's allowed.
Right.
But we do have a YouTube channel and our website. But for those who are local, being here in person and being at the concert,
Yeah.
you can purchase a subscription to the symphony. So
Mm.
you can subscribe and get all 7 Masterworks, all 3 pops, or both. You can get subscriptions to both series. Comes with a big discount on tickets, some perks, lots of fun stuff, and guaranteed seats. So if there's seats that you really like that's the view I want, you can get a subscription. For the Masterworks series, you need to do it before Masterworks 1, and which is on the 4th, so
Right.
call this week. And for the pop series, though, that doesn't start till December, so you have a while if you're interested in the pop series. But our website is cantonsymphony.org. Easy peasy. All
Yeah.
of our info is there. We have a very active social media, Facebook, Instagram. There's a TikTok now. I don't know what's
Nice.
happening on it, but Sarah did tell me we have a TikTok.
Oh,
Um,
Sarah. I love it.
so,
Oh.
we also, if you have a young person in your life, a lot of educational content. Almost all of it is free. Our youth symphony program is tuitioned, but we have youth symphony students, over 100 of them at 3 different levels. They come from 10 different counties
Oh my gosh.
to be a part of youth symphony. So if you have a young person who plays an instrument and wants to be a part of youth symphony, we take auditions throughout the year.
Oh,
I don't
good
know.
to
There's
know.
probably some instruments that are full, but there are some instruments where we're still taking auditions, and you
Oh
can
my
find
gosh.
that information on the website as well. So, yeah, there's so much stuff.
Oh, I didn't
So,
even
and
think
you can
about how
call
you
us.
joined the symphony as a musician. That's amazing. How do you do it as an adult? Is that the
So
process once a
if
year?
you're interested in auditioning for the symphony, so we are a fully professional unioned orchestra.
Wow.
We just did auditions, so I forget the number of
Gotcha.
contract players we have right now.
That's
But
amazing.
our musicians come from all over the country to play with
Wow.
us. Our tuba player lives in Alabama. One of our percussionists lives in LA. Uh, we have a lot of
That
people who live
I
in
did not
Pennsylvania.
know. Oh my
I know
gosh.
this is something a lot of note. Like of 60 something contract players, 2 live in Stark County. Most of them live in Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and they're professional musicians that play in a lot of
Wow.
orchestras. But we do auditions about once a year, and all the
Okay.
information's on the website.
Sure.
So if you're interested in auditioning, it's pretty intense. This is a very high quality orchestra, and this year I got to be more involved in auditions than normal, which was super fun. I got to
That
listen. It is super cool to hear all these amazing
I can
musicians,
imagine.
and our musicians are fabulous, and they're just they work so hard, even though they're only here sometimes 4 times a year, right? Like they're
Right.
not here very often, but they care so much, and they really work to make it the highest quality orchestra possible. So yeah, there's so much to be involved in, and you can always call us.
Yeah.
We're happy to answer questions if you just want to call us.
Oh my
So
gosh, I have learned so much. I had no idea about those positions and being union, and I just
yeah.
love the schedule coming up. And I hope this helps so much with getting the word out about volunteers and people,
Yes.
finding out about what you do even more. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I'm so excited for everything that you're doing, and I love the support that you're giving other organizations in the arts community. And I personally want to do more. So you have me coming on board to do whatever I can as
Yeah.
well.
Yay. Well, thank
Goodness.
you so much. It's been just so much fun chat. Obviously I like to talk about it. So,
Yes, you can tell.
I'm grateful that you let me chit chat about it today.
Oh, well, thanks, Rachel. I will see you at a performance soon. I promise.
Amazing. Yay.
Thanks.